and there his face was. I quickly kicked the brick and let the door shut. I thought, I've got to face him out here. If he gets inside there with me, he's going to cut me to bits.
Sweeney pulled out an axe and swung it at Delia's arms. The killer then reached for a knife.
He cut his palm, and he says, "You fucking bitch." Then he stabbed me through the breast into the lung. Then he stabbed me in the thigh. Then he swung the axe and he took my finger and he got the knuckles of the other two. And I saw my finger fly through there to next door.
Delia threw her bike on top of herself to protect her from the blows. The noise of the axe crashing down on the bike brought a neighbour outside. He beat Sweeney with a baseball bat and the killer fled into the night.
She has the forethought to kick the brick away so that the door to her flat slams shut. Had she not done that, she would almost certainly have lost her life.
Delia was rushed to hospital. She had 2 broken arms, 2 stab wounds in the thigh and chest, a severed little finger and a punctured lung. She was given 19 units of blood as surgeons fought to save her life. Psychologically, though, Delia felt defeated.
I wasn't fighting for my life. I didn't want to live. The medical lot were fighting for my life. I wanted to die. I didn't care anymore. I wanted to be dead.
Before the police could find him, Sweeney went on the run, fleeing 65 miles north to Northampton, then onto his hometown of Skelmersdale. Then he vanished.
After the attack on Delia, he really goes off the radar. He manages somehow to get out of the UK, and he goes on the run effectively for 6 years.
Sweeney had the gall to write to police whilst on the run, sarcastically claiming Delia's attack was an accident. Soon he'd return to his disturbing drawings, portraying revenge on the women who'd scorned him. London, England, the year 2000. After 6 years on the run, 44-year-old John Sweeney slid back into the UK capital under a new identity.
Sweeney has quite a lot of aliases, names that he's known by. He's not just John Sweeney, he's Joe Scouse, Scouse Joe, and a whole list of other names.
Michael this, Joe Johnson, that was one of Sweeney's other great tricks. He could hide in plain sight. He also was quite adept at looking rather different. If you look at photographs of Sweeney, he can adopt different guises. He is quite skillful at disguise.
So I think this adds to his comedian-like quality, and it allows him to present different versions of himself to different people.
Sweeney roamed building site to building site, finding easy work as a carpenter in a booming capital. Here he met fellow Liverpudlian 31-year-old Paula Fields. She'd led a happy life in the northwest until she was drawn into London's darker side of drugs and prostitution.
So Paula was quite a vulnerable individual. She'd moved from Liverpool to London. She had some drug dependency issues, and Sweeney, being the predator that he is, would have honed in on that very, very quickly. He would have identified the fact that both came from Liverpool, so there was that affinity there.
Unlike Delia, Paula was involved in prostitution, and she was somewhat of a street person, so you would think somebody like Paula would have some street smarts where she would be able to detect somebody like Sweeney trying to get over on her. It tells you how crafty and how cunning and how manipulative Sweeney was.
Like other women in his life, Sweeney, also known as Scouse Joe, built up a seething resentment towards her.
She would buy drugs from a local dealer, and without having the funds, she